So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
He signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
So young Justin Bieber, who was signed by Usher, involved with Scooter Braun, now all of a sudden he's being put in the hands of Diddy, who, it is true, he became the legal guardian for Usher. You can look up all of the allegations of what Diddy did to Usher. A lot of this coming out via multiple lawsuits that essentially, if we were to put it in a nice context, or at least use a euphemism for something that's really disgusting, the allegations are essentially that Diddy very much initiated Usher into Hollywood.
Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're out.
He got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Candace Owens didn't cry this time. She didn't tremble. She didn't soften her voice. She was furious. The moment Justin Bieber revealed what really happened during the shocking 48 hours with Diddy, Candace's entire tone changed. Her eyes sharpened, her voice hardened, and the anger in her expression made it absolutely clear. She wasn't just reacting, she was ready for war. Justin didn't rant. He didn't dramatize anything. He spoke quietly, calmly, and honestly about what he experienced at 15 years old. But the second he finished describing those moments with Diddy, Candace Owens slammed her hand on the desk and said, "This is outrageous. This should never have happened, and the fact that people still defend Diddy makes me sick." Justin's confession wasn't a rumor. It wasn't gossip. It was truth. And Candace's anger grew with every detail he shared. Not at Justin, but at the adults who allowed this to happen, and at Diddy, who she now believes used his influence in ways no responsible adult ever should.
He did an interview back in 2020 with Zane Lowe. I think this was on Apple Music. And he was speaking about another young artist that was coming up, Billie Eilish, and Eilish. And he was basically speaking about how he wanted to protect her because she was now another young person, a rising artist in the industry. And sort of out of nowhere, he became quite overcome with emotion. Take a listen.
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, she can count on me, but at the end of the day, I'm never gonna force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, let her do her thing, and if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters and yeah. So yeah. I just want to protect her, I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So, yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
I'm not even kidding. Watching that clip makes me emotional because he is saying so much without really saying anything. And in this one video, it looks like whatever Justin is doing, and I'm not going to show it out of just respect for the fact that I truly believe that Justin Bieber is a victim.
But whatever he is doing in this video with Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr. looks highly suspicious. I can show you a still from that video because I think the relevant part is Justin Bieber is not sober. He is clearly very heavily under the influence at this party. And if you remember that lawsuit that the producer Rodney dropped against Diddy, he said that unbeknownst to all of these people, they were being drugged at Diddy's parties, that they were pouring out the liquor bottles and replacing it with other drugs. He kept...
To my limits. Oh, I gotta feel that experience. I'm coming back. So good. Happy New Year! Woo!
Candace Owens has covered countless scandals, political controversies, and cultural storms. But nothing hit her the way Justin's confession did, not because it made her emotional, but because it made her furious. She said every instinct inside her screamed that Justin's story represented something much bigger than a celebrity moment. It represented years of adults failing a child. Candace didn't speak softly, she practically spit out her words. This industry protected Diddy. They handed him access to a kid and called it mentorship. Are you kidding me? Her tone wasn't sympathetic, it was enraged. She said she was tired of watching powerful people use their influence however they want, while young performers like Justin pay the price. And when Justin calmly explained what actually happened during those infamous hours with Diddy, Candace practically exploded.
Unearthing videos of Justin Bieber at Diddy parties. Now, Justin Bieber was obviously extremely young when he entered the industry, extremely innocent when he entered the industry, an industry that he did not quite understand as a boy who just knew how to sing and play the guitar and just did both of those things on YouTube. Then he was scooped up and suddenly he was a part of people like Diddy going after him and saying, hey man, why don't you pick up my phone calls? There's actually a video of that. Diddy and Justin Bieber looks to be like 15 years old and said, why aren't you picking up my phone calls? And he's like, oh, I know you were trying to contact me through people and I don't have your number. And the next thing we know, Justin is at Diddy's parties.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber began his confession slowly, methodically, describing the whirlwind that hit him at 15. One day he was singing covers on YouTube. The next he was surrounded by grown adults treating him like a superstar instead of a child who still needed protection. Justin said Diddy showed an unusual level of interest in him early on when not like a mentor, not like a supportive industry figure, but like someone who wanted control. Justin remembered Diddy repeatedly insisting, "You're coming with me for 48 hours." Justin didn't understand. He didn't know how to say no. He said adults around him acted excited about it, like it was a big opportunity. And when Justin said, "I didn't feel right about it even back then," Candace's jaw tensed. Justin said the 48 hours was nothing like anything a teenager should ever be involved in. The environments, the crowds, the energy, nothing was age appropriate. He said he was uncomfortable the entire time. He remembered flashing lights. He remembered chaotic rooms. He remembered being expected to act older than he was. He remembered trying to smile because he knew people were watching. When Justin explained that he laughed nervously to cope, Candace leaned forward, furious. He was a child and the industry filmed it like it was cute. This makes me furious. She said she never realized that Justin's awkward behavior in those clips wasn't teenage silliness. Justin said something that made Candace stop and lift her eyebrows in complete disgust. "I don't think anyone really cared how I felt." He told Candace that he didn't think a single adult seriously questioned why a grown man wanted private time with a teenage boy. He said it was treated like a joke, like entertainment. Candace didn't hide her anger for even a second. This industry should be ashamed. They let this happen. They encouraged it. They let Diddy have access to him. She blamed managers. She blamed executives. She blamed the adults who were supposed to protect Justin, but instead celebrated the moment. And she made it clear her anger wasn't going anywhere. Candace then connected the dots in a way that only she could. With sharp precision and explosive outrage, Justin wasn't the first young star Diddy took under his wing. Years earlier, Diddy claimed he had guardianship of Usher when Usher was a teenager. That alone had always sounded strange, but now with Justin's confession, the similarities were unmistakable. 2 teenage boys, 1 powerful man, too much access, too little oversight. Candace's frustration rose as she said, how many young men did he mentor like this? How many felt uncomfortable but stayed quiet? Candace wasn't sad, she was livid. Justin then talked about how these moments shaped his adulthood. He said the pressure, the exposure, the strange environments, and the lack of protection forced him to grow up too fast. He said he spent years struggling with trust, years trying to understand who actually cared about him, years coping with the consequences of being put in situations no child should ever experience. Candace nodded, but her expression was fierce. Justin didn't fall apart because he was spoiled. He fell apart because adults failed him. She said the world judged Justin for acting out in his 20s without ever asking what he had endured behind the scenes. Candace finally hit her breaking point. She slammed her notes down and said, "This is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. A child was put in danger and the adults around him laughed. This makes me furious." She didn't hide her frustration with Hollywood. She didn't hide her frustration with the music industry. And she definitely didn't hide her frustration with Diddy. Candace said Diddy had been protected for far too long by fans, by insiders, by executives. And she said Justin's confession was the moment that destroyed the illusion. Candace then reframed Justin's entire history, his anxiety, his mental health struggles, his isolation, his sudden changes in lifestyle, his need for faith, boundaries, and healthy relationships. Candace said, how could he not have struggled? He was put in impossible situations. She said the world mocked him when they should have been asking, what happened to this child behind the scenes? Candace raised her voice again. This wasn't Justin's fault. It was the adults who used him for access, fame, and control. Candace turned her attention directly to Diddy. She said Justin's confession wasn't just painful, it was a turning point. Diddy's empire, she argued, is collapsing piece by piece, and Justin's truth may be the final push that brings even more people forward. She warned that the silence surrounding Diddy is finally ending. She said, this man used his influence in ways no responsible adult ever would, and now the truth is coming for him. No sympathy, no excuses, only anger. Candace ended her broadcast with a fiery message aimed directly at the music industry. Justin Bieber deserves an apology from everyone who saw these red flags and did nothing. She then turned her attention to Diddy. The world is waking up, time is up, and your excuses won't save you anymore. Her tone was ice cold and furious. Candace Owens wrapped up her segment with a message that shook her audience. This isn't about gossip. This isn't about drama. This is about a child who deserved protection and a grown man who betrayed that responsibility. The truth is out now, and nothing will stop what's coming. She leaned forward and said, if this confession doesn't wake people up, nothing will. And with that, she ended her show. Not in tears, but in complete outrage.